We met in Savannah. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I came to Savannah and finished at Savannah State University. Our story is a little interesting as to how we met. We initially met through mutual friends at a bowling alley, and that was the end of our, introduction.
So we met in high school. Of course, I knew Preston forever. And then one of our friends died, so we were at the funeral, and all I hear across the line, "Can I walk you to your car?" And I'm like, and ever since then, I'm getting on my nerves.
We met online. I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I was at work, and I saw my coworker. She kept going on dates, and every weekend she'd come back, or every Monday, and she'd be like, "Girl, I just came back from a date." So I was like, okay, how are we getting all these dates? I want to go on one. So she set me up on the online dating app, and then I ran into him.
How did we meet? We met at Crystal's.
Our first job.
Our very first job. As a matter of fact, we weren't interested in each other.
Didn't even like her.
No. No. We didn't like each other. We were friends. And then it just kind of went into something else.
Truth is, we actually met on MySpace.
What? I'm letting you
First
talk.
time meeting in public was actually at a Family Dollar parking lot.
My friend knew one of her friends, and they wanted to go out bowling. So I joined them and a couple of other friends, and so I saw her. I was definitely interested in her, and we kind of talked a little bit, and I got her number from her. But that's the last time I saw her. I lost the number somehow, so I wasn't able to contact her, and I didn't see her again for, how long it was since,
a few years.
Yeah, a couple years.
We were friends, and then it just kind of went into something else.
Giving her a ride home from work. Opening up the car door for her.
Yeah, I was out there. Saw my royal. So, I was just trying to get who I could get. And I ran to Ashley, and she didn't give it up on the first night like most of the girls.
Hair rollers, popsicle.
But let me defend myself first of all. So I actually thought he was a different Andre. I thought he was the Andre that took the pictures from my grandmother's birthday party. So I was meeting him. I thought I was gonna meet him, and I was gonna get all this stuff for him at the same time. But he never told me he was the wrong person. It's the truth.
Hey, you ain't getting none until I go on, 5-6 days.
It's like 6.
So that's spread over time. So she was different from the rest of the girls who were ready to. So that caught my eye, caught my interest.
Valentine's Day was that Monday.
That weekend.
And I saw her on a Saturday at a shopping center. And I was taking my mother and daughter out. My mother and sister out. Yeah, really. Yeah. My mother and sister out for Valentine's Day that Saturday. And so I actually saw her, and I spoke, and I went on to the restaurant. And but when I sat down, I said, "Mom, excuse me," because I said, the next time I see that girl, I'm gonna ask her out. So I left them at the table. I came out. She was still standing by her car, waiting on her friend. And so I asked her for her number, and she gave me the number. So I called her later on and asked her if she would like to go out for Valentine's.
I guess I would look at a healthy marriage as if, two people who shared a bond with each other and started with a foundation and made it stronger.
Let's just say, me as a kid, always growing up, I always was one of those type of people that dream of a big wedding and marriage and a happy ever after, like a fairy tale.
To me, a healthy marriage is an open relationship where communication is, top priority.
I would say first God first.
Obviously, I don't think there is no perfect marriage, but I will say that, you got to have communication. You got to be able to be an open book.
Me being raised in a single household, someone idolized my mom. You know, being independent.
Communication is very important.
A healthy marriage looks like a lot of communication, a lot of trust.
I always wanted to get married, always thought about that. But then growing up, you don't realize how much work it is.
Basically, if you don't have that communication between the two of you, you really lack everything else.
Keep people out your business.
Basically, your best friends before anything else, you know, nevertheless. So.
So my biggest imagination about marriage was maybe it really doesn't exist. No one in my family had a genuine marriage. You know, it was always give or take, hit or miss.
What I imagined marriage to be prior to being married was no arguments, mom and dad coming home every day. Because again, I grew up with just a mom, so I'm thinking it's mom, basically the Huxtables.
Because I've been married before, I already had expectations, and I knew I was not going to put up with what I put up before. So my bar was set all the way up there. And if he didn't go for him, he could go. And that's just what it was.
Well, marriage to me is about commitment and just staying true to who you are, to your relationship. Marriage is work. It's not an easy task, but it can be a beautiful thing.
You've seen the Cinderellas and the fairy tales, but when you grow up in a single parent household, you don't really know what that's like. So it's kind of hard to say, oh, I'm going to be the prettiest this, the prettiest that, and we're going to be perfect, because you never saw perfect.
I imagine marriage being kind of the same thing. You go home, your wife got dinner cooked, and the kids watching in the bed, and sex all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that too.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be kind of just tough, you know, but, you know, in all, we still get along with each other, you know. It's more responsibilities than not being married, so, you know, she taught me a lot right now, so therefore, it's a good thing to be married.
Really didn't have one. I mean, I grew up pretty much in a single family home also, and I think my grandparents and maybe one friend was the only people that I knew was married growing up, so I didn't really have a goal or desire, and at some points I really didn't even care if I was ever married.
Before I met him, I was dating. I was like, whatever. I got married young, I had my kids young, so now I'm like, I got my own house, I got my own car, so I was just like, I could date, I could go out on dates, I could do whatever, but then I was like, you get the same result. So I was like, something has to change. I need some type of structure, and I'm ready for a husband. I'm not a girlfriend, I'm not a baby mama, I'm a wife.
It's definitely commitment. For me, marriage is about a partnership. I like to sometimes say, I think of it as a business. I keep my business mind and hat on at all times, and I wouldn't want to see my business fail. So for me, marriage is that. I don't want to see my marriage fail. So as much as I'm committed to my business, I'm that much more committed to my marriage.
You date different people, various guys. Like I dated from the best of the best to the thug of the thug. But I mean, when you find that person that you truly love, then it's different.
But I just think it's really enjoy each other. You know, you can't expect too much from each other, from your partner, because you may not get it all. You may have these high expectations for them, and they may not give it to you. You're looking for something that they don't have, but they have other qualities, you know, that you can kind of look at. Like, you know, you may expect, oh, I want somebody with a lot of money. Okay, well, what if they don't have a lot of money? And when me and him first started, it wasn't money, because neither one of us had anything.
My opinion of being a wife is being there for my husband, being his support.
I would say a good wife is somebody who's trustworthy, loyal.
One who can do things without, do things on their own. Don't fall under peer pressure, as in listening to outside.
For her to basically follow my lead, and also to help me lead. To create sustenance for a family.
Very disciplined when it comes to her own actions, as far as like what it is that she wants to do.
To me, because I'm not a wife yet, but to me, to be a wife is, to, again, I feel like I'm saying the same things, but just to be a best friend and just to be that person in a time of need.
Also to live out her purpose and her destiny as well, to basically help me take care of the family.
Making sacrifice to make it work for the both of us. Being a wife is forever.
Being a wife to me is, because I'm a nurturer, I feel like I gotta take care of everybody. I feel like I have to I got to take care of him. And I think sometimes in our marriage that gets misconstrued because his grandmother took care of him. So sometimes I feel like grandma, and I'm not even, I mean, that's just the way it is. And it's like, dude, I'm your wife, I'm not your grandmother.
From my perspective, I take care of my husband. He's my friend. His needs come before mine. If he wants to do something, I got your back. I'm going to support you because he's the head of the household.
In terms of being a wife, it's just, again, being that helpmate, very supportive. Not just for my husband, but for my family.
I feel like you have to be an all-around person. That's number one. You can't be a busybody. You can't be a homebody. You gotta be a mix of it all. Because I'm a busybody. Okay? I'm a busybody. I'm here, there, everywhere. I wear multiple hats, from multiple professions, but I take care of home.
For me, being a wife is being a good partner, because I'm at home and I help him as well. I see a lot of back and forth on social media, like, should you be 50-50 or blah blah blah. Whatever works in your household works in your household. So I've been the stay-at-home mom, and I've been the wife that's going off to work and coming home and making sure dinner's cooked and the homework's done, and I've been it all.
So whatever it is that you need me to do, I'm here. I don't care if I'm tired, I got you. If you need me to run to Hines, Atlanta, and back, and that same day, I got you, because this is what we need to do.
Just as a woman in general, being that multitasker, wearing many hats, and at the end of the day, making sure that he's happy.
From the finances to the food to the cooking to the baby to the husband. I mean, whatever it is, I got it. I don't need anybody to intervene in my household per se. Now, don't get me wrong, as a wife, you do need help. It takes a village to raise a child. So yes, we need help from our parents, we need help from our friends, and things like that. But as a wife, your job is to be the heart of the house.
So I feel like being a good wife is being that partner that your spouse needs for that point in time in your marriage.
But I think that a wife is just someone that supports her spouse. You don't want to tear your spouse down. You support them in anything. Even if you don't agree with it, you still support them. Simply because I don't have to tell him, oh, this not going to work. Let him see it for himself.
You got to be able to take care of the house. There are things that I have friends that say, oh, you do that? Oh, I ain't doing none of that. But that's your relationship, My relationship is my relationship. Me being a wife is me being a wife. I am a lover, a provider. We pray together. We cry together. We laugh together. We argue together. We go in separate rooms. We watch TV together apart. It is what it is.
I've heard it said before that a man should not come home to ruckus in the house. He wants to come home to peace. So that is my commitment, and my contribution is to make sure my husband has peace.
Definition of a good husband. So I would say to be a protector first. What I mean by that is basically protect each other's feelings.
My definition of good husband is a man to provide, who take care of his kids, go above and beyond to make sure his household is in place.
You got to be able to go to that person, you know, as a shoulder to cry on, a shoulder to lean on.
You know, not have your, you know, business out and about and everybody else's business. Your business is yours.
A husband to me is a protector, a provider, like your rock, it's your go-to.
Provider, biggest thing overall. Somebody who can take charge.
Basically being a leader, you know, a kingdom man. You know, basically, you know, everything that you do, you take it in prayer.
It's who you have to lean on. Anytime something isn't going right or you worried, that's your go-to.
Always hold account of their own actions and, you know, stand up when it needs to be done. So.
Always be a provider, you know, and always have each other's back.
It's just a lifetime partner to have, forever.
A husband meaning to provide security, be a man, be a father, be a friend, a lover.
What do I feel is a good husband? Definitely one who can provide, not necessarily financially, because I see a lot of people caught up in that. Like, they think that finances seem like to be the most important thing that they're seeking after, but you have to provide something spiritually, emotionally, a sense of security, definitely physically. She got to know that she's safe around you, and she just got to know that she's safe, period.
Well, being a husband to me is providing, taking care of the household, loving your wife, giving your children a example of how, when they become fathers or husbands, how they should care themselves.
You know, being a husband is it's a responsibility of making sure everything good in the house, being handyman, you know, going to work every day, bringing the money home, you know.
Like, you're the safety net, you're the go-to, you're everything. I mean, finances play a part in that also, but it's just not finances, because what if I'm broke? That means you're gonna leave? But if I know that you're there for me without the money, I know that I can give you more money possibly, or make more money without worrying about you focusing on the money.
You gotta learn your way, but, you know, make sure you paying the bills, make sure you ain't got 2-3 girlfriends, make sure you home every night, and make sure you some kind of disciplinary, but not too hard, but not too soft.
So those are, you know, the one word descriptions for me as a man being a husband.
The most difficult situation we had since we've been married probably was childbirth. That's the only thing I could really think of, because growing up, it wasn't something that I really cared for. I mean, I don't know why, but it wasn't like, man, I can't wait to have kids. And that never crossed my mind.
5 miscarriages. After that, you're pretty much like, man, I'm done with this. Because you got people that have kids and they don't even want them.
It wasn't more so of, oh, I just want a kid so bad. But, you know, you do all of these, you know, when you grow up in the projects, you know, you see all the negative. You see all of these people having 4, 5, 12, 6 kids. You know, you see all of that. You know, I single mom, you know, I saw that, you know, and it wasn't anything I wanted.
I had to take like different medications. As a matter of fact, we went so deep into having in vitro, and it didn't work. You know, for anybody that knows in vitro, that's a $10,000 procedure. So when you have a $10,000 procedure and they telling you that, hey, your chances are 99% to 1 and it don't happen, that's emotional. And I think that was like the biggest strain, that was the biggest strain on our marriage.
Went to the doctor, you know, he said, you had this, you know, you got to get this procedure done. And I'm not afraid to tell anybody, you know, uterine fibroids and endometriosis. So I had to figure that out. It's a female thing, you know, I had to handle that. So I did that. Great. You know, wait a year, you're going to be good. Wait a year, nothing happened.
I had an ectopical pregnancy. And I went to the doctor and they was like, well, we don't see anything, it's in your tubes. And they was like, well, we're going to have to do surgery. And me, because I wanted it so bad, I said, no, I'm not having the surgery.
She woke me up many nights just from her sobbing. And it was just rough. That was a rough patch because, truth be told, I think it actually took probably close to 5 years before it actually happened from us actually dedicating that we're going to try to have that child.
It affected us emotionally because it's an emotional stress that you're going through because you're trying to get something that you really want and it's not happening.
So it was just that feeling of, Lord, why not me? For lack of better words, when there's so many kids whose parents aren't doing the right thing.
And so he was like, well, you know what? It's not about you. He was like, you have to have the surgery. He was like, because I can't get another you, but we can try again. And so we always supported each other, but it was just the emotional strain. It was an emotional roller coaster, more so for me because it's my body. Right. And I'm the one that's going through it.
And then, just get me.
And it wasn't that my husband didn't understand per se. I just think it was, you are always seen as this strong person. So when you're outside, you got to put on this smile, this face, like nothing phases you. But when you get home and this is the only person that, I hate to say, you can openly be you to.
We was in the process of adopting.
Oh, yeah.
We was on the final step, and then boom, pregnant.
Yeah.
Blessings.
Yeah, we went through all the trainings. We did the background check, and we were on the last process of adopting. And then we were going to go into foster care. And I was like, well, God, I guess it wasn't meant for us to adopt or foster care. So.
Seriously, in any marriage, if you're a firm believer in God, you don't got to believe in God, but you're going to be tested. So whether it's another female coming in your relationship, another man, a baby out in the streets, your house burned down, somebody shot your husband, it don't matter. There's going to be a test, so if you can make it through that storm, you're going to make it, but I think the baby thing was a stop under the bridge. We had to stand up on the bridge and figure out how are we going to keep riding forward? Or are we going to just quit and just go the other direction? But we just had to figure it out. And it wasn't so much as a hard part of our marriage, but it was that phase in our marriage to say, is he going to stick with me through this?